I found out my wife was cheating on me because of a pool. Yeah, a freaking pool. And the worst part? It wasn't even mine. I still can't believe how stupid I was for missing the signs. Or maybe I just didn't want to see them. So here's what happened. My wife, Emily, and I had been married for 6 years. No kids yet, just us, a decent house, stable jobs, and what I thought was a pretty solid relationship. Nothing perfect, but nothing broken either. At least that's what I told myself. About 2 months ago, she started going to this fitness center after work. Said she wanted to get in shape for summer. I didn't question it. I mean, why would I? She even showed me pictures of the place, nice gym, big outdoor pool, spa area, looked legit. At first, it was just twice a week. Then 3 times. Then suddenly, almost every evening. I remember joking about it once. Damn, you training for the Olympics or something? She laughed. Too quickly. Just trying to feel better about myself. That should have been my first red flag. But I brushed it off. Then came the little things. She started guarding her phone more. Turning it face down. Taking it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom. Notifications would pop up, and she'd swipe them away instantly. Again. I ignored it. Because I trusted her. Or maybe because I was afraid of what I'd find if I didn't. One evening, I got home earlier than usual. Work meeting got cancelled. I thought I'd surprise her, maybe order takeout, have a chill night together. But the house was empty. I checked the time. 6:20 p.m. She usually left for the gym around 6. I figured she must have already gone. No big deal. I texted her, hey, got home early. Wanna grab food later? She replied almost instantly, at the gym RN. Talk later red heart. Something about that message felt off. Not what she said. How she said it. Too fast. Too clean. I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't feel like her typing. And that's when the thought hit me for the first time. What if she's not actually at the gym? I hated myself for even thinking it. But once that idea got into my head, I couldn't get rid of it. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I drove there. The fitness center was about 15 minutes away. I kept telling myself I was being paranoid the whole drive. That I'd get there, see her car, laugh it off, and feel like an idiot. Honestly. I was hoping for that. I pulled into the parking lot. And her car wasn't there. I just sat there for a solid minute, staring at the empty spaces, trying to come up with excuses for it. Maybe she parked somewhere else. Maybe she walked. Maybe. Then I noticed something. There was a smaller lot on the side of the building, partially hidden by trees. I drove around. And there it was. Her car. Parked far away from the main entrance. That's when my stomach dropped. Because Emily hates walking. She always complains about parking far away. Always. But now. She chose the most hidden spot possible. At that moment, I knew. I just didn't want to admit it yet. I got out of the car and walked toward the building. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was going to explode. I didn't even know what I was planning to do. Confront her. Spy on her. Catch her in the act. I just kept walking. The place was bigger than I expected. Through the glass walls, I could see the gym area, some people working out, everything normal. But then I remembered the pool. It was outside, behind the building. I walked around the side, trying to stay out of sight like some kind of idiot in a bad movie. And then I heard it. Laughter. Her laugh. I froze. There's something about hearing someone you love laugh like that, when you're not supposed to be there, it hits different. It didn't sound like the laugh she had with me. This one was lighter. Freer. I slowly moved closer to the pool area, keeping behind a wall until I could finally see. And what I saw. Yeah. That's when everything changed. I wish I could say I walked away right then. I wish I could say I didn't look. But I did. And I regret every second of it. I leaned just enough to see past the wall, keeping myself hidden in the shadows. The pool lights reflected off the water, everything glowing in that soft blue color that almost made it look peaceful. Almost. She was in the pool. Emily. My wife. And she wasn't alone. There was a guy with her. Taller than me. Broad shoulders. The kind of guy you instantly know spends way too much time in the gym. They were close. Too close. At first, I tried to convince myself it wasn't what it looked like. Maybe they were just talking. Maybe they knew each other from the gym. But then she splashed him playfully. He grabbed her waist. And she didn't pull away. She leaned into him. That's when my chest tightened so hard I could barely breathe. I just stood there, frozen, watching my entire life fall apart in front of me. He said something, I couldn't hear it clearly, but whatever it was, she laughed again. That same laugh I heard before. Not the one she gave me after a long day. Not the tired, polite one. This one was real. And it wasn't for me. He pulled her closer. And then. He kissed her. Not quick. Not hesitant. Like they'd done it 100 times before. I felt like someone had punched me straight in the stomach. Everything went quiet. Not around me, there was still water moving, people talking somewhere in the distance, but inside my head, it was just silence. 6 years. 6 years together. And this is what it came down to. I don't even remember deciding to take my phone out, but suddenly it was in my hand. I hit record almost on instinct. Part of me didn't want to believe it. Part of me needed proof. So I stood there, like an idiot, filming my wife kissing another man in a pool. They didn't stop. If anything, they got more comfortable. His hands moved lower on her body. Her arms wrapped around his neck. She looked at him like he was the only person in the world. I don't think I've ever felt that invisible in my entire life. At one point, she whispered something into his ear and he laughed, pulling her even closer. The kind of intimacy you don't fake. The kind you build over time. This wasn't new. That realization hit harder than anything else. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a one-time thing. This was something that had been going on behind my back while I was sitting at home thinking everything was fine. I don't know how long I stood there. Could have been 5 minutes. Could have been 20. Time didn't make sense anymore. But eventually, something inside me snapped. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just, a switch flipping. I stopped recording. Looked at the screen for a second. And then I put my phone away. Because I didn't need more proof. I already had enough. I took one last look at them. At her. Trying to memorize that moment, not because I wanted to remember it, but because I knew this was the exact second everything changed. The exact second my marriage ended. Then I turned around and walked away. No confrontation. No yelling. No scene. Just, silence. I got back to my car and sat there, hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I kept expecting to feel something big. Rage. Tears. Anything. But all I felt was, empty. Like someone had hollowed me out from the inside. After a few minutes, my phone buzzed. It was her. Hey, gonna stay a bit longer at the gym. Don't wait up, Red Heart. I stared at that message. Read it again. And again. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was insane. She was lying to me. While I was literally sitting outside watching her cheat. That's when the anger finally started creeping in. Slow. Cold. Controlled. I typed back, no worries. Take your time. I hit send. And for the first time that night. I had a plan. Because if she thought I was still clueless. I was going to make sure she kept thinking that. At least for now. I started the car, pulled out of the lot, and drove home like nothing happened. But inside? Inside, everything was already different. And she had no idea what was coming next. I didn't sleep that night. Not even for a minute. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything I saw over and over again. Every laugh. Every touch. That kiss. It's crazy how your brain works in moments like that. It doesn't protect you. It zooms in. Slows everything down. Makes sure you feel every detail. By morning, I wasn't sad anymore. I was focused. Emily came home late. Around 10:30 p.m. I heard her keys, her footsteps, the soft hum she always did when she thought everything was fine. She walked into the bedroom like nothing happened. "Hey," she said softly, climbing into bed. "Sorry, it was a long session today." A long session. I almost laughed right there. But I didn't. I just turned slightly and said, "It's fine." She kissed my shoulder. And I swear, I felt nothing. Not warmth. Not comfort. Just disgust. But I stayed calm. Because I knew one thing for sure now. This wasn't the moment. The next few days, I acted normal. Too normal. I talked to her. Ate dinner with her. Even asked about her workouts. And she lied. So easily. "So what did you train today?" I asked one evening. "Cardio mostly," she replied, not even hesitating. "And some legs." "Leg day." "Yeah." I nodded like I believed her. But inside, I was building something. A plan. First, I checked our finances. Nothing crazy at first glance, but after digging a bit deeper, I noticed small things. Payments to the same cafe near the gym. Multiple times a week. Sometimes twice in one evening. Then I checked our shared cloud account. That's when things got worse. Photos. Not explicit ones. But enough. Selfies at the pool. Same lighting. Same background I saw that night. And sometimes. Him. Not fully in frame. Just a shoulder. A reflection. A hand. But it was enough to confirm everything. This had been going on for a while. Weeks. Maybe months. And suddenly, everything made sense. The late nights. The extra sessions. The distance between us. I wasn't losing her. I had already lost her. I just didn't know it yet. But I still needed one thing. The moment. The confrontation. And I knew exactly how I wanted to do it. So I waited. A few days later, she told me she had another evening workout. Same time. Same place. Perfect. But this time, I didn't follow her. I got there first. I parked in the same hidden lot and walked straight to the pool area, just like before. Found the same spot behind the wall. And waited. About 15 minutes later, they showed up. Together. Not even trying to hide it anymore. They were laughing, talking, like a couple that had nothing to worry about. That hit me harder than anything. Not the cheating. The comfort. The normalcy of it. Like I didn't even exist. They got into the pool, same as before. Same distance. Same touches. Same everything. Except this time. I wasn't just watching. This time, I was ready. I pulled out my phone again. But not to record. To text her. "Hey, how's the gym?" I saw her phone light up on the chair nearby. She glanced at it. Opened the message. And then. I watched her type. "Good, just started. Feeling tired but pushing through." I felt my jaw tighten. I waited 3 seconds. Then I stepped out from behind the wall. "Really?" My voice cut through the air. Both of them froze. Emily turned first. And I will never forget that look on her face. It wasn't guilt at first. It was shock. Pure, raw panic. Like her brain couldn't process what she was seeing. What are you doing here?" she stuttered, backing away slightly. The guy looked between us, confused. I didn't even look at him. I kept my eyes locked on her. "At the gym, right?" I said calmly, holding up my phone. "Pushing through." She didn't answer. Couldn't. Because there was nothing left to say. The silence was heavy. Thick. Then she tried. "It's not what it looks like." I laughed. Actually laughed. "Don't," I said, shaking my head. "Just, don't." The guy started stepping out of the pool. "Hey man, I didn't know." "Stay out of it," I snapped, finally looking at him. "You knew enough." He went quiet. Good. Because this wasn't about him. This was about her. I looked back at Emily. Water dripping from her hair, her hands shaking slightly. And for the first time, she looked small. Not confident. Not in control. Just, caught. How long? I asked. She swallowed. Please. Can we talk about this at home? No, I said immediately. We're talking about it now. Her eyes filled with tears. And for a split second, I almost felt something. But then I remembered the pool. The laugh. The kiss. And it was gone. How long? I repeated. She looked down. 2 months. 2 months. Almost exactly when the gym started. Of course. Wow, I exhaled, nodding slowly. That's efficient. Please, she whispered. I was going to tell you. When? I cut in. After what? After you got bored of him? Or after I found out like this? She didn't answer. Because we both knew the truth. There was no plan to tell me. Ever. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. Opened the video. And held it up. Her face went pale. I've seen enough, I said quietly. And that's when she broke. Started crying. Actually crying now. Not the controlled kind. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it sounded different now. Not like regret. Like consequences. And that was the moment I realized something important. I wasn't here to fix anything. There was nothing left to fix. I looked at her one last time. Took a breath. And made my decision. I stood there for a few seconds, just looking at her. Crying. Shaking. Saying sorry over and over again like it could somehow rewind everything. It couldn't. Nothing could. I took a step back, creating distance between us. Not just physically. Mentally. Emotionally. Everything. I'm done, I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. She looked up instantly, panic flashing across her face. No, no, please don't say that, she rushed out, moving closer. We can fix this. It was a mistake, I swear. A mistake. I cut her off. I shook my head slowly. No. A mistake is forgetting something at the store. This? I pointed at the pool, at him, at her. This is a choice. Repeated. Planned. She started crying harder. I didn't mean for it to go this far. But it did, I said. Because you wanted it to. That hit her. I saw it in her face. The realization that there was no way to twist this, no way to soften it. The truth was just, there. Raw. Ugly. And undeniable. I turned away from her. Because I didn't want to see her like that anymore. Didn't want to remember her like that either. I'll pack my things tonight, I added. You can stay. I don't care. Wait, please, she said, grabbing my arm. I stopped. Not because I wanted to. Because I needed to hear whatever last thing she thought could fix this. I love you, she whispered. I closed my eyes for a second. That sentence. It used to mean everything. Now it meant nothing. If you loved me, I said quietly, pulling my arm away, you wouldn't be here. Silence. Heavy. Final. I didn't look back again. I just walked away. Got to my car. Sat down. And for the first time since all of this started, I felt something. Not anger. Not sadness. Relief. Like a weight I didn't even realize I was carrying had finally been lifted. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, it was messed up. But at least now, it was real. No lies. No pretending. No fake gym sessions. Just the truth. And sometimes, the truth hurts. But it also sets you free. I drove home that night knowing one thing for sure. I didn't lose my wife at that pool. I lost her a long time ago. That was just the moment I finally saw it. And honestly, I'd rather face a painful truth than live a comfortable lie. A few weeks have passed since everything went down. I moved out the next day. Packed only the essentials and stayed at a friend's place for a bit. The house feels different now, even when I go back to grab the rest of my stuff. Empty. Not because she's there, but because whatever we had is completely gone. We've already started the divorce process. She tried reaching out a few times at first. Long messages. Apologies. Saying she made the biggest mistake of her life. I read them, but I didn't reply. There's nothing left to say. I also found out something interesting. He wasn't just some random guy from the gym. He works there. Trainer. Which means this whole thing probably started way earlier than she admitted. At this point, I don't even care anymore. That's the weird part. I thought I'd be angry for months. That I'd want revenge or closure or something. But honestly, I just feel done. Like I closed a chapter and I'm not interested in rereading it. I've been focusing on myself. Going to the actual gym, ironically. Spending more time with friends I kinda ignored before. Getting my head straight. And yeah, some days still hit harder than others. But it's getting easier. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's this. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. And walk away before you lose more than just time. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I post new Reddit stories about cheating, relationships, and crazy life situations every day. And if you have a story like this, feel free to share it in the comments.